Hello and welcome to How I Painted. Today I will be painting the Gloomhaven Cragheart. I'm going to begin with the Zenithal Prime of my own mixture. I'll be using Zenithal primers. The first would be olive green, 2 parts, red brown in four parts of the mixture, and light flesh for 6 parts of the mixture. This first mix I'm going to spray over the entire mini. After that, I'm going to lighten it up and spray just from a 45-degree angle above the mini. And then finally, I'm going to lighten up even more and spray from directly above. This will give me 3 shades for the Cragheart's skin. When a mini is mostly one color, I like to do Zenithal Prime. So I mix up 3 different shades of a color, like I'm doing on this Cragheart. It's a quick way to get a lot of different layers of contrast. Quick and easy way to get those layers of contrast in there. Here I'm mixing up the first highlight, the one that I will spray from 45 degrees. I'm using a master airbrush for this. I got it from Amazon for $80. It came with its own air compressor. It's a good beginner's airbrush. I got a collection of these Zenithal primers for minis like the Cragheart that are mostly one color, and I wanted to be able to prime them in the shades that I would leave them, so I wouldn't have to paint those sections of the mini again. Here you can see that the shaded and highlighted area. Now we're mixing the final highlight, the one I will spray from directly above the mini. And with that finished, I can begin painting. I use solid gold and blighted gold. I'm going to mix them together. Both of these are P3 paints from Privateer Press. Those will be most of the paints I use. I'm going to find that I need to add a lot of solid gold to bring up the color. The blighted gold is very dark. Putting in some more. Alright, now I will begin applying it to all of the metallic bits on the Cragheart. Shoulder pads, wristbands, and the belt. Bracers. They're probably bracers. And then the floating knee pads. They don't appear to be attached anywhere. I guess if it's a stone monster, it could just be growing the gold out of him. Should have used a larger brush, taking unnecessarily long because of such a fine tip brush. Next up is Hammerfall Khaki. This doesn't end up working. I tried, I think, about 3 colors. Jackbone, this is not going to be light enough either. For the little skirt thing, kilt, what have you. Menoth white base. This does appear to be light enough, so I think I apply Menoth white base. I'm going for the colors that I saw in the game art, roughly speaking. Though I've seen very many cool schemes that do their own. Alright, so we've got some, yes, necrotic green for the, it's kind of an infill on the gold belt. Now I'm going to have to come back and do this later anyway, because toward the end I use Army Painter's Strong Tone Quick Shade to shade the mini, and I just can't get enough of it out of the recesses. So it covers up all that necrotic green, so I have to apply that again. I think I'm using Zenithal White highlight here, and just using it on the ridges of the kilt. High points in the folds. Next up is solid gold. I'll be applying this as a highlight to all of the gold components. He's got little bumps on his left shoulder pad, so I kind of touch the top of each of those bumps with some solid gold. On the top side of those bracers, catch the light perhaps more than the other side. On the tops of the knees. We're assuming the light is shining from directly above. Next up is Battlefield Brown. And this is for the heart cavity on the center of the chest of the Cragheart. It is a little tricky to paint into the cracks, so I use a very fine tip brush and I put it in the center, and then I drag it through the cracks with a very small amount of paint on the brush. I don't want the dark color to come out of the ridge. I want it to be completely contained in the crevices. Next up is Khador Red Highlight. This is for the eyes. Most Gloomhaven characters seem to have glowing or bright eyes. Next is Zenithal White. I'm just going to put a little dot of white inside the orange. Khador Red Highlight, I should say. And here's how he looks before the quick shade. Pretty good, I'd say. I was happy with him. So next up is the Army Painter Strong Tone quick shade. We just glob that on there. You can apply it liberally. Best done with the glove, safety glasses. The stuff is pretty volatile and smelly. Next I pick some of it off. I don't want it to pool too much in any of the recesses, so I'm there wiping it off. Trying especially to keep it out of the green, but it does not work. I have to go back and repaint that. So afterwards I wait 2 full days to let it dry. Because it dries very glossy, I use Tester's Clear Coat, Dull Coat, to get that glossiness off. Give it a couple quick puffs, and voila. And after that's all dried, back to that necrotic green like I was saying. I wanted it to be a really bright green, like it was almost like it was glowing. It was made of, I don't know, engraved with something like jade. So I just had to go back in and re-establish the bright green. But you can see how the quick shade darkened all of the crackiness on the model. It also provides a strong protective layer, which I appreciate on my gaming miniatures. This base is a little unfinished. I use Ironhold Gray for that. A gray base guy. This mini took about 45 minutes for all the steps combined, so I was quite happy with how quick this one was. Alright, so there's the finished Cragheart. That about wraps up how I painted the Gloomhaven Cragheart. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, happy painting.